I had to do that. So anyway, let me turn off the music. This is a comparison between the ZV-E1 and the Leica Q3. Leica Q3 is a point and shoot camera, but it can do 28, 35, 50, 75, and 90 focal lengths. But as you zoom in to 90, it gets less and less megapixels. So it's just a crop factor, all right, of a 28 millimeter f1.7 lens. I had it in aperture mode, and I did a different focal length, so I did one video on that already. I'm rendering right now the ZV-E1 with about 150 pictures. So I used a 24 millimeter, the kit lens 20 to 60 that came with the A7C. I've used the 28 on the kit. I used the 24s, the pancake lens 2.8, and the I think it had a prime 1.4. Maybe not. I can't. No, that was just the 2.8. On the 28 millimeter, I used the 28 and 35. I used the kit lens, and the 50. I used the f1.8 and the kit lens, and I think I did a 60 to kind of round it off. I did have a 55, which was a Zeiss, and that's a great lens. You'll see a lot of bokeh from the leaves. I'm going to show you in this slideshow. And then I didn't have the 75, but I did have an 85. So there's kind of like between the 75 and 90. It's like a 12 megapixel file at 85. I think that's an f2, but it's also a macro. Okay. Anyway, I left the 35 in here and the 20 for the Sony, but still great shots. So let's do the slideshow. Okay, my first video on this, the same video, it's just that I had the microphone unplugged with the cable, so I'm going to talk you through it. So I'm starting the slideshow right now. I got a little music playing in the background. You can see me messing with the mouse. So it's starting. So 2 videos in a row that I did, and I didn't catch it, that didn't look at the meter for the microphone. So I'm using the kit lens right now. I had 2 of them. I had the 28 to 60, which was on the A7C, and then I had the Sigma 28 to 70. And that's an f2.8. So the 28 to 60 is like a f3.5 to, I think, a 6.3. Okay. So anyway, I had the 24 millimeter f2.8. I messed up right there. I kept hitting the page back, and I got back to the pictures. But then I had the so on the Sigma, I did the 28, 35, 50, and 70, okay? I think on the kit lens, I did the 60, 28, 35, 50, and 60. I did the 24 millimeter pancake. Well, it's not a pancake, but small compact. which was an f2.8, the 50 millimeter f1.8 from Sony, and then also the Zeiss 55 millimeter f1.8 also. And the bokeh on that was unreal. Sharp in the center, and then everything just falls off around it. Then of course, I already said the 60 on the kit lens, and the 70 on the Sigma. And then I just used the 85 millimeter, which is an f2, but also a macro, with the, since it's in between the 75 millimeter and 90 millimeter on the Leica Q3. So the only difference is what you're seeing now on these pictures is in crop mode. It's not in full frame. And I realized it after I started seeing some borders around some pictures. I'm saying, what's going on here? And then I looked in the camera and I said, yep, it's in crop mode. And especially when I looked at the info, it said, well, 50 millimeter equivalent, but it's actually 75. So I'm talking about a couple of snake holes by the tree. I'm hoping it's not grub worms and stuff that could kill it. And it might be from wasps getting the mud, you know, for their nest. I don't know. But it looks pretty big, so I think it's a snake. And made 2 holes. So anyway, looking at that. This is the 55 millimeter, by the way. And I'm zooming in, showing off the bokeh. And it's still pretty sharp. You can see a little pixelation, but then you can see some branches that are sharp. And I'm showing off the bokeh. There is some purple fringing though. But there's the bird that plays hide and seek with me every day. It's a game with her. She says something and I go looking, and then she says, okay, try to catch me now. Or she'll jump from one branch to the other, always chirping. I think she likes the interaction. Of course, when I wear my cowboy hat and not my bald head, she doesn't know who that person is. So you can see the purple fringing. So I'm talking about probably that. That's why it's being delayed. I'm redoing this video because this part was quiet. So I've added music for a background and I'm talking through it. Trying to remember what I was talking about. So when I get to the 85 millimeter, I'll start telling you about when I put it in macro. And you really can't get too close with that lens either. It's like 2 feet away, so. But you got to remember, 85 millimeters at 1.5 crop, like 127.5. So when I did the video after this, the slideshow, it was in full frame. So that's why everything looks so big. When you see those little rectangles at 16 by 9, it's cropped. And it didn't hit me until I started looking at what's wrong with these pictures. That's why. So when I start talking again, I'll mute myself. And I'll probably finish the video with the older one. And I'll probably turn off the music too. Now, when I go in the backyard, that's when I'm using the 85 millimeter. I believe. Maybe not. No, that's the next video. I'm sorry. I'm playing with my mouse. I can't find it. So I'm scrolling back. I think I'm going to be doing some cropping. But you know, for a 12 megapixel camera at a crop, it still looks good. You see I'm cropping. I didn't realize that it was in crop mode already, or it would have been a lot sharper. Yeah, I'm almost done, folks. Then you'll go and see the video. Okay, this is the 85 millimeter at a crop. So it's a 127 and a half. Great camera. Puppy cam. Z5. Yeah, this one. And that's my battery chargers. 2 ZFs and one Z6 III. So I got those from B&H. So anyway, let's finish with the Z5. I hope you like this comparison, so I do. Does it really matter if you have a 12 megapixel camera compared to a 16 megapixel camera, which I'll do a discussion next after this one? I don't think so. I think the pictures look good unless you start pixel peeping. Then if you have to crop, you need the 60 megapixel or 45 or higher, 30. It does make a difference because when you crop, it goes into like 20 megapixels or less. ZV-E1 is a little bit different. I will do some more pictures, but not in crop mode. Okay, And I think I'll just use the kit lens with the 85 millimeter to give it kind of like the same. I don't have a 70 millimeter, so I'll use a 28 to 60, and then I'll use the I think that's a 20 to 60. Might be the 28 to 60. But anyway, use that lens with 85 in full frame. Sorry about the crop, but still, picture looks fantastic. If you look at this right here,